Okay, good morning, students. I welcome you all for the another session of this video lecture. So yesterday we have seen that the different diagrams, that is a stress strain diagram for concrete and a stress strain diagram for the steel. Okay, and what is the maximum compressive stress in the concrete, and what will be the maximum uh, stress in the steel bars. Now let us start with the very important session of this RCC, right? So before going into the design and analysis, right? So you should know the stress block parameters. So in that, first we'll consider this analysis of singly reinforced concrete section in flexure. Flexure means bending. When the load comes on the beam, right? So bending moment will be there, and because of this bending moment, the beam will going to bend. So that bending is called as flexure. Okay. Then first we'll see the analysis, how the beam will be analysis means what? Assessment of loads. So first we're going to calculate how much loads will coming on the beam, and depending upon that we're going to design the beam section. Okay, so here the term mentioned singly reinforced. So basically there will be two types of reinforcement, that is a singly reinforced beam, okay, and doubly reinforced beam. Okay, singly means what? As the name indicates, the steel bars or the reinforcement will be provided only in the tension side. Now see, if you consider the cross section of the beam, okay, cross section of the beam, and this is the width of the beam, and this is the total depth, capital D. Okay, from here to here, bottom of the beam section, it is a capital depth. Okay, overall depth, that is called as overall depth. And this small d, can you see this small d? It is from this top end to the center of reinforcement. This is the reinforcement or steel bars provided. So it may be 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 6 numbers, 8 numbers. So depending upon the design, we're going to provide the steel bars at the bottom. Now see, as per the heading, singly reinforced means the reinforcement provided or the steel bars provided only at the tension zone. Now see, can you see this line? Okay, so this is called as neutral axis. Okay, this is called as neutral axis, as the name indicates, neutral. Okay, so the beam is divided into two zones. Okay, above this and below this part you can see. Okay, this is the portion above the neutral axis, and this is the portion below the neutral axis. Now can you see the steel bars in this zone only? So what this neutral axis indicates? Neutral axis indicates, or it will going to divide the beam section into two zones. Okay, so above this portion, this is called as compression zone. Okay, so there will be a concrete here. Okay, so this is called as compression zone, and this portion below this neutral axis, so this section is called as, okay, tensile zone. Okay, so the function of neutral axis is what? The neutral axis will going to divide the section into two parts. One is above this neutral axis, it is a compression zone, and below this neutral axis there is a tension zone. Okay, so you may ask, here also concrete is there? No, yes, concrete is there here, but what assumption says that, right, the tensile strength of concrete is neglected, because concrete is very good in compression, but it is very weak in tension. So even though the concrete is there here, right, this concrete will be neglected because it will not going to take any tensile stresses here. So this portion compression zone, and below this portion tension zone. So neutral axis, right, which will going to divide the section into compression zone and tension zone. And if you see this exactly at this point, right, exactly at the neutral axis, there will be no compressive stresses, there will be no tensile stresses. So the stresses at the neutral axis, exactly at the neutral axis, stresses will be 0. So that's why it is called as neutral axis. Okay, and if you go above this neutral axis, okay, the compressive stresses will going to start. Compression stress will be there, compressive stresses will be there, and the maximum compressive stress, okay, maximum compressive stress will be there here. And if you come below this neutral axis, okay, here tensile stress will be 0. It will going to increase, and exactly at the steel bars tensile stresses will be maximum. Okay, so what do you mean by this singly reinforced? So singly reinforced means, so it is the beam section in which the in which the steel bars will be provided only at the tension zone. Only at the tension zone. Such beams are considered as singly. Singly means only one side. Singly reinforced beams are the beams in which tensile reinforcement is provided only in tension zone. Can you see any bars here? No. Okay, so this beam is called as singly reinforced beam. If doubly reinforced beam, if you comes, again steel bars will be provided at the top also, bottom also, that is tension zone also, and top also. So such beams are called as doubly reinforced beam. So right now we will be concentrating only on singly reinforced beam. Nothing but the steel reinforcement is provided only in the tension zone. So this is the tension zone. So in beam section, in beam, right, bottom portion is the tension zone, and this above the neutral axis, it is compression zone. Okay, let us draw, this is the cross section width of the beam, and can you see small d, right? It is from the top fiber to the center of this reinforcement, center of reinforcement. So this distance is mentioned as small d. Small d is effective depth of the beam. Okay, small d is effective depth of the beam. And if I consider the distance between this to bottom, from this to this bottom, it is capital D, that is overall depth of the beam. Okay, and I'm going to mention from this top fiber to the neutral axis. Just write down, this is XU. XU. It is, what is XU? It is the neutral axis depth. Neutral axis depth from the top compression fiber. This is the top compression fiber. This is bottom tensile fiber. So from top compression fiber up to the neutral axis, this is indicated as XU. It is depth of the neutral axis. Okay. Then we are going to draw the right strain diagram. This is the cross section of the beam. This is called as strain diagram. What do you mean by strain? As you know, when the load comes on the beam, right, stresses and strains will going to start. Stress will going to increase. Strain will also going to be increased. So this will be shown in the diagram like this. Okay, this is the strain diagram. Now see neutral axis. Okay, exactly at the neutral axis, no stresses. Okay, as you go above, strain also increases, strain increases, and the maximum strain. Okay, this is called maximum strain at the top compression fiber will be 0.0035. In the previous article we have seen the maximum strain in the concrete is 0.0035. And what is the maximum strain here? In the steel bar, it is 0.87 Fy divided by Es plus 0.002. Okay, we're going to see this in the next article. Right now you have to remember maximum strain in the concrete 0.0035 and maximum strain, right, in the steel bar it is 0.87 Fy divided by Young's modulus of elasticity of steel plus 0.002. Okay, then this is strain diagram. Then this is a stress diagram, right? This is a stress diagram. Now see, this is in the form of parabola, parabolic shape. Okay, so it is considered as this portion is rectangle and this portion is parabolic. Okay, so this is the total stress diagram. Now see again, here if you see the neutral axis here, right, the stress will be 0, right, stress will be 0. As you go above, okay, the stress will going to be increased. Now see, can you see this is a 0.45 FCK. Can you remember in the previous article, right? How we have got this 0.45? FCK we know characteristic strength. So this FCK, okay, multiply by 0.6 factor. Okay, FCK into 0.6, then divided by partial safety factor 1.5. So the total maximum compressive stress, this is a strain, maximum compressive strain, and here at top fiber what will be the maximum stress? Maximum stress will be 0.45 FCK. Okay, here it is 0. So it will be maximum at here, and again it will start reducing at neutral axis. There will be no stress. Okay, and from bottom, if you come from bottom up to the tensile reinforcement, even though the concrete is here, the concrete will be neglected here. Only steel bars will be there, and the stress, maximum stress in the steel bar will be like this. Okay, now if you see this diagram, okay, now there will be two zones. This is the compression zone, okay, this is the compression zone, and this is the tensile zone. Okay, now there will be two forces. Okay, finally there will be two forces depending upon this zone and this tensile zone. So can you see this capital C? Okay, capital C will be total compressive force. I am talking about the force, total compressive force, and this T, capital T, is total tensile force. Okay, so this is compression zone, means there will be somewhere here total force will be there, that is compressive force will be there, and in this steel bar total, okay, tensile force will be there. So compressive force, total compressive force indicated by capital C, and total tensile force in the steel bar indicated as capital T. Okay, so this is C and this is T. So they are acting in the opposite direction. And can you see this distance? What is this distance? So the distance between top compression fiber to the total compressive force from this, okay, from this, where the total C will be acting, the total compressive force in this concrete zone will be acting at a distance of 0.42 times of XU. If it is XU, right, if it is XU, then somewhere here C will be, total C will be at a distance how much? 0.42 times of XU. Okay, now this is D, small d. Now see, from this to center of this reinforcement is effective depth. Okay, so can you see these two forces C and T? So the distance between these two forces, okay, the distance between total compressive force and total tensile force is considered as Z, that is lever arm. The distance between these two total forces will be indicated as Z. Now what is the Z value? Now see, if it is D, okay, this is D and this is how much? 0.42 x to this distance. Then what will be the remaining distance between these two forces? D minus 0.42. D minus 0.42 will be the distance between these total C and total T forces, and this is indicated as lever arm. So remember these three diagrams. One is cross section, okay, then another one is strain diagram, that is maximum strain in concrete, maximum strain in steel, and this is stress diagram. So maximum stress in concrete 0.45 FCK and maximum stress in steel 0.87 FY. This is 0.87 FY. Now how we have got this this? Now what is force? Total C, how much it is? Total compressive force here at this point. Okay, so what is force? Force is equal to what? Stress into area. Force is equal to what? Stress into area. So what is stress now? 0.36 FCK. How you have got this 0.36 FCK? Now see, here it is 0.45. Maximum stress is here. Okay, if you come down, it will be reducing. So at a distance 0.42 XU, at this junction, at this point, what will be the stress? It will not be 0.45 FCK. Okay, it will be reduced. And it is how much? 0.36 FCK. So at this point, what will be the stress? Stress will be 0.36 FCK. Okay, and what is force? Force is equal to stress. Okay, 0.36 FCK is the stress into area. What is area now? Area of this concrete portion, it is B into XU. This is rectangle now. So B into XU. B into XU will be the area. So stress is 0.36 FCK at this point. Stress into area, B into XU. So this gives total force, total compressive force. Force is equal to stress 0.36 FCK, area is B into XU. So this will going to give total compressive force at this point, which is at a distance of 0.42 XU. Okay, this is total compressive force C. And what is total tensile force? Again, what is the stress in this bar? Stress is what? 0.87 Fy. Yesterday we have seen this. 0.87 Fy will be the maximum stress in the steel bar. Okay, in the steel bar. So stress into area. What is area now? Area of this steel bar is AST. So capital A indicates area, ST indicates steel bar. So AST means area of steel bars. So stress is 0.87 Fy, area is AST. So total compressive force C is equal to stress into area, and total T is equal to stress in steel bar, that is 0.87 Fy, into area will be AST. So total C and total T. Okay. Now see the position of neutral axis. So this is the position of neutral axis, that is indicated as XU. This is measured from the top. Remember, it is measured from the top fiber. This will be XU. See, this is position of neutral axis. How we are going to find out this? What is the value of XU we are going to see. Now for longitudinal equilibrium, always whatever the load comes, these forces will going to be managed. Okay, these two forces will going to be managed. So always there will be equilibrium. So for equilibrium, we are going to equate total C is equal to total T. So equating total compressive force C to the total tensile force T. So C is equal to T. Then only equilibrium will be there for this beam. So what is C now? 0.36 FCK XU into B, 0.36 FCK B into XU, that is equal to total T will be 0.87 Fy AST, 0.87 Fy AST. So C is equal to T. Now therefore neutral axis depth, what we want? We want XU, that is neutral axis depth. So XU is equal to what? 0.87 Fy AST divided by 0.36 FCK into B. Okay, so this XU is equal to this term divided by 0.36 FCK into B. Now both sides you will going to divide by D. Both sides dividing this by D and dividing this by D. So if you divide by D, this is XU by D, then 0.87 divided by 0.36 Fy divided by FCK, then AST divided by B into D. We are dividing here also D. Okay, 0.87 divided by 0.36 Fy upon FCK, then AST upon B into D. Okay, so XU by D, okay, XU by D is equal to 0.87 divided by 0.36. This value comes out 2.42. This is 2.42 Fy upon FCK, AST upon BD. So from this, can you calculate XU now? Right. So in the problem, B will be given, and capital D will be given or small d will be given, then we can calculate this XU. So XU is what? Neutral axis depth. Okay, neutral axis depth. So from this you can calculate the XU value, right? And one more important note you can make here. It should be noted that the value of XU by D, when you calculate this value, XU by D should not be taken greater than limiting value. One more term we're going to introduce, that is XU max upon D. This is the limiting value. Okay, so when you calculate XU by D, right, this should not be more than XU max upon D or XU limit upon D. Both are same. So this value should not be more than this. Okay, so we'll see when you start with the problem. We'll see what is this XU by D and what is this XU max upon D. We're going to see. Okay, but remember this three diagrams and how to calculate this neutral axis depth. Okay, then as we have discussed, lever arm. What is lever arm? It is indicated as Z. So the lever arm, it is nothing but this is Z between C and T. So it is the distance between, Z is the distance between total compressive force and total tensile force. See, it is the distance between compressive force C and tensile force T. So therefore lever arm is equal to Z is equal to D minus 0.42 XU. So lever arm, this Z is equal to what? This is D minus this distance, that is 0.42 XU. How we have got this? There will be a derivation, we are going to see that. Okay, 0.42 XU. This is lever arm Z. Next important term is moment of resistance of the beam section. Moment of resistance. What is this? It is indicated as capital M or MU. MU means ultimate. Ultimate moment of resistance, MU. So what is the moment of resistance? Okay, so when the load comes on the beam, okay, see when the load comes on this beam, right, so bending moment will be there. So because of load, bending moments will be there, and because of bending moments, so there is a possibility of beam is going to bend. So the beam may bend because of this load. When the beam will going to bend? When the resistance will be less than the bending moment, right? There will be two things. One is bending moment will going to come and the resistance will be given by the beam section. When the resistance is more than the bending moment, there will be no bending of the beam, right? If the resistance is less and bending moment is more, then beam will going to bend. So whatever the resistance given by, who will going to give the resistance? Resistance will be given by this concrete and this steel bar. They will going to give the resistance against the bending moment. So if this resistance given by the concrete and steel, if it is more than the bending moment which is coming on the beam, there will be no problem. Okay, so this resistance is known as moment of resistance. So moment of resistance is what? This is the resisting moment offered by the beam section. Okay, the resisting moment given by the beam section to resist the bending moment. Whatever the bending moment coming onto the beam due to load, that will be resisted by the concrete and steel. So the concrete and steel resistance is known as moment of resistance. In order that the section may be stable under the action of external loading moment, external bending moment, the total internal tension, that is T, and the compression C must be equal, and these two forces must be form a resisting moment. See here, these two forces, okay, total C and total T, they will going to form C. These two are in opposite direction, they will going to form the couple, okay, or moment. Okay, so whatever the moment given by the C and T is known as resisting moment or moment of resistance. So moment of resistance of beam section MU. Okay, so mu is equal to, so what is moment? How will calculate moment? Moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Okay, as we know in the basic, right, moment will be force into perpendicular distance. There are two forces now. One is total compressive force C and total tensile force T. Okay, now therefore mu is equal to total C force, this is a force, total compressive force into perpendicular distance. Now see, if I take a moment here, what is a moment here? What is the moment at this point? What is the moment at this point? So this is total force C, force into perpendicular distance between this and this. So C, total force C into Z. Okay, moment at this point is equal to C, this is the force, into perpendicular distance between this C and this point is Z. So C into Z, or if I take moment at this point, moment at this point is equal to what? T, total tensile force T into perpendicular distance, that is Z again. So there are two possibilities. You can calculate the moment of resistance of beam, that is C into lever arm, total C into lever arm, or total T into lever arm. If you take this formula, total C into lever arm, what is total compressive force? This total compressive force 0.36 FCK B into XU. Okay, total compressive force 0.36 FCK B into XU. Lever arm is Z. So Z is equal to D minus 0.42 XU. So that will going to give the moment when you consider force C. So it comes out 0.36 FCK B into XU, B into XU. If you take D outside, okay, what is remaining? 1 minus 0.42 XU by D. So if you take this D outside, so here it is remaining 1 minus 0.42 XU by D will come. Now again for this you have to multiply D and divide by D. So multiply and divide by D. So what we will going to get? Mu is equal to 0.36 FCK, okay, 0.36 FCK, then XU by D. We are going to divide by D now. So that XU by D, then this B into D. Again here multiplying D. So B into D, again into D. So that is BD square. Okay, multiply here D divided by D. So this is BD, one more D, BD square, and below this is XU by D. This will remain 1 minus 0.42 XU by D. So from this you can calculate the mu, that is moment of resistance given by the beam section. Or another option is moment of resistance mu is equal to total T into lever arm, that is force into perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance is Z. So T into Z. T into, that is sorry, C into Z or T into Z. So what is T now? 0.87 Fy AST, stress into area. So that is T into Z is again same D minus 0.42 XU. So mu is equal to 0.87 Fy AST. Again if you take D outside, it is 1 minus 0.42 XU by D. So therefore mu is equal to what? Mu is equal to whatever the XU value you have calculated here. XU is 0.42. So therefore mu is equal to 0.87 Fy AST into D, okay, into bracket 1 minus, okay, what is the XU value here? See here, okay, you can substitute this, okay, you can substitute in the place of XU here, XU. So is 0.87 Fy AST, D you can take outside, 1 minus 0.42 XU by D. So therefore mu is equal to 0.87 Fy AST D 1 minus 0.42, okay, 0.42. If you substitute XU value here, so final equation is this. Okay, so you can calculate the moment of resistance using this formula or using this formula. This is C into perpendicular distance moment equal to C into lever arm, and this is T into lever arm. Okay, so this is the important thing you have to remember. Okay, so in today's session, see, this is a cross section of the beam, strain diagram, stress diagram. Okay, then we have calculated XU by D or XU, that is position of neutral axis or neutral axis depth. Then lever arm, it is a perpendicular distance between total C and total T. Then moment of resistance, that is resistance given by the beam section against the external bending moment. So this can be calculated, right, using these two formulas, that is T total C into lever arm and total T into lever arm. Okay, so today we have studied the important part of this RCC. So once again you try to solve these all equations, and if any doubt, so please let me know. Okay, and thank you very much for attending the today's session. Thank you.